Hi bakers! So today what we're doing is a traditional Christmas cake. Now if you've not already read part 1 of what I've written in this series, the recipe is from Christine, our group admin, and it's a family recipe that has been used for at least 3 generations, and it's been used every year in those generations as well. So as close as you can get to a traditional Christmas cake. Okay, so it's really not that difficult to make the cake. Okay, it's just a case of knowing exactly the steps to do and maybe some things not to do. So Christina's guided me on this, so this is my first time doing a proper one as well. So part 1, if you've not already watched, was on the soaking of the dried fruit. These Christmas cakes, they have a very high proportion of dried fruit in them. Currants, raisins, sultanas, cherries, these kind of things. And you generally soak it in alcohol like brandy or rum or port, but you can of course also use fruit juice. So I also made a smaller batch of ones with orange juice and some orange and lemon zest too. All details of that are on the website, and as I said, part 1 of it. Now the reason that you do that ahead of time is to, 1, soak the fruit so that they do hydrate and also get a good flavour to them. Also because we're going to add them to the cake batter now, and the cake is actually going to be made, this is October, second week in October, and some people might think, well, why are you doing it so early? Once you actually bake the cake, and because it's got a high amount of fruit in it and fruit sugar and alcohol, if you use alcohol, it actually preserves the cake from now until December. Now the other reason you do it is you every week or 2 you use a teaspoon or 2 of alcohol or fruit juice, and you do what's called feeding the cake. Okay, so you're basically just taking the spoons of the juice or the alcohol, and there'll be holes on the top of the cake already, and you just spoon it in and let it absorb it over the next week or so. So you do that regularly, it hydrates it and it keeps it moist and it preserves it as well. Okay, so that was part 1, was soaking of the fruit to add to it, and now we are going to just make the cake. Now once the cake's made, it's put away for many weeks up until December, and at that stage you then will be decorating it. Now traditionally it is with a thin layer of marzipan or almond paste, and then on top of that either a thin layer of fondant, or you can use royal icing. The choice is yours. All of this also preserves the cake. Now this is why these cakes can last for quite a long time. Okay. When it comes to nearer to December, I will of course send you out and do some videos and photo tutorials on different ways to decorate. So how to apply the marzipan and the fondant or the royal icing, and also I've got in mind some really cute little ideas to decorate the cakes. Now I'll also do some very simple ways and some a bit more intricate ways, so everyone can do it. Okay, there's some cool things that you can do. You don't need lots and lots of tools to do it, just your imagination really. Okay, another thing too, the recipe. Today I am doing a double batch of the alcohol infused cake, because I'm doing a big regular one, I'm doing one in a loaf tin, and I'm doing lots of mini ones. So I've got various different sizes and shapes, and I will take note of all the time so that you know. Also in the part 2 recipe, I will also include in it a table for you. Now that table will tell you all the different tin sizes I've got, and ones that I have asked through group. I've asked people what mini tin sizes would you like me to include for you. Some people want to do a smaller cake because of how things are this year, 2020, if you're looking at this at another time. Some want a smaller cake, some want to do mini ones to do for, you know, giving out as gifts. So I worked out what you can get out of a batch, or if you want to reduce, this is how you do it. Now if there's something I haven't included, you can by all means get in touch and I'll work it out for you. but I also have an article on how to reduce recipes down to a smaller tin size. Now, it doesn't just apply to cakes, it can be pastry, anything you're making, anything you want to do in a smaller dish. So that article is there and it shows you how to do it. I've explained how to do it in a more, wee bit more involved way to find out how to reduce cups, or indeed if the measurements in teaspoons. Okay, so I'll include links to that on the recipe too. In the meantime, let's get on with this because it's not that complicated, but I'm just going to show you really quick anyway, and I'll come back at the next stage. So we begin with the soaking of the dried fruit. Get together all your dried fruit, mix them all together in a very large bowl, after which you'll be adding in your alcohol or your fruit juice, ensuring you cover the top of the fruit. Here I'm making an alcohol-free one with some zest and also some orange juice. Then put the fruit away for 1 week. So guys, I just want to give you a close-up of this so you can actually see what we're talking about here. So everything's about the same size. I don't know if you're chopping anything. And then you can see the liquid in there too. So I'm just patting it back down so that you can get as much covering as possible. And that base. Okay, so here I am cutting out paper to fit nicely into my loaf tin. I'm making sure I have enough paper to come up at least 2 inches, 5 centimetres above the tin. Now I am going to cut out the corner pieces. You can also draw on it where you want to cut, but I have made so many of these I'm doing it freehand. Basically what you end up with is like a cross shape that will fit perfectly into your tin. And here I'm checking it fits nicely. Then removing and greasing the loaf tin really well so that the paper will stay in place, and finally placing back in position, all nice and flat. Next, cut out some more paper. I folded it in half because we want a double layer on the outside of the tin. I'm holding in position with some pegs just to get it around the tin. You can use paper clips, sellotape, but I found it didn't work for me. You just want to hold it in position until you can get some string around it. Get your string, butcher's string, and tie it around the tin as tightly as you possibly can. Believe me, this is not easy. You can also make a second row of the string too if you like. Next, I am trimming down the top of the paper. You don't have to do that, but I had to do it because I am baking several cakes in the oven at one time and I wouldn't have enough space. Next, I am creasing the paper just to keep it nice together so none of the paper falls into the batter while it's baking. So here we have a double layer of paper wrapped on the outside of the tins as well as lining on the inside. Begin making the batter by sieving your flour and your baking powder if using. Then you add in your mixed spice or pumpkin spice if you like. Give it all a really good mix through until an even distribution. After this, add in your ground almonds. As I mentioned, I'm using a double batch here, so I'm adding it in gradually. An alternative would be using almond meal. Next, ensure that your butter is softened. Cutting small, it will soften quicker and you can easily squeeze it between your fingers. Now get your sugar ready. Caster sugar or granulated sugar is fine. Add in your butter. Give it a little mix by hand just so the sugar doesn't go everywhere once you get the mixer in. Then you want to do what is called creaming of the butter and the sugar, which is just beating the mixture together until it is all nice and soft and creamy. In the next shot, I will show you exactly how it should be. Just scrape down the sides of the bowl. This is really important. Also, you can see now just how nice and soft and creamy and fluffy that is. Now gradually add in the dry ingredients in increments of say 3. Fold it in with a spatula rather than using a mixer. This will ensure you don't knock out any of the air that you incorporated into the batter. Just fold it in nice and gentle just until it's incorporated. Then get your eggs together and give them a really good whisk and add in your orange juice or your milk or brandy, whichever you are using, and give another little whisk through. Now add in a third of that mixture you just made. We're adding in increments, gradually adding in, alternating between the dry and the wet that we're adding to the batter. Again, just mix it in nice and gentle, just until incorporated. Okay bakers, so I've prepared the batter, and mine's, as I mentioned, is a double batch. So I've got a really big bowl, a really big stand mixer bowl, but I did it all by hand, just the creaming with the machine, the handheld. Now what I want to show you is the fruit. Now yes, mine's is a big double batch. And I want to show you how the fruit's doing. So I'm going to just drain it out now. You see? I'm going to just bring some up for you. Nice. To drain it out, and I'm reserving the liquid because that is a bit syrupy and can actually be used for mincemeat if you want to make your own mincemeat or any other project. Now gradually add in your mixed fruit to your batter. Adding it in increments, you'll get a more even distribution. As you can see, I've got absolutely tons and tons of fruit here, and this is your end batter. Here what I'm doing is I am dividing the batter out into different sized tins. Once they're full, give them a little flatten down on top. Bake them in the oven, and after about an hour for the bigger cakes, you want to place another double sheet of paper on the top. Okay bakers, so that's our cakes all baked and cooled, and now we are going to make some holes in the top of the cake, and we're going to put some either alcohol or fruit juice, orange juice, into the holes. So about 2 tablespoons worth for your regular size cake, obviously less for the mini ones. All will be listed on the website. Simply make some holes on the top of the cake with a cocktail stick, then spoon on your orange juice or your alcohol and just give the tin a shake around. Here are some that I made from my double batch and also my muffin ones. Okay guys, so that is, the cakes are now cooling down completely, and once they're completely cooled, all the paper, the tin and the paper will be removed. After that point, you will be wrapping in some more paper, and then you can do tin foil or aluminium foil. Don't put the foil directly against the cake, it will interfere with the taste of it. And you can cover with a tea towel or put in another food bag after that, cling film, plastic wrap after that is fine as well. But just store somewhere dry and cool. Careful what you do put on with it, because you will be having to feed the cake every 1 or 2 weeks up until December. Once the cakes are all cooled down completely, remove the tins and all of your paper. Here are some of the mini ones that I made from the double batch. Then wrap in some more paper, and finally some tin foil or aluminium foil. Okay, so that's the cakes put away now for a week or so, and then they will get their second feed. I will do some more videos, not videos, I'll do a few more parts to the series on this, just a reminder post, let's say, to remind you to feed your cake every week or two at the most, and up until December, that is. And after that point, you will be coming to do the decorating, and I will be providing video and photos, tutorials on different ideas on how to decorate them. So thank you for watching this video, for taking the time to listen to it, maybe take the time as well to try a new recipe, something you haven't done before, or just a different version of it. Greatly appreciated. If you like the videos or the website, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and to emails or newsletter emails from the website too. Thank you for watching, and thank you for if you're joining in this bake together. Look forward to seeing all your cakes and your preparation, and also further down the line the decorating of the final cakes too. If you need anything, any questions in the meantime, just get in contact via the website contact form on the homepage, or indeed via Facebook in the Bake Off group or in the lessons group. In the meantime, bye for now, bakers.